Wonderful. Let's get us started. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call our City Council meeting to order for October the 3rd, 2023. It is 6:01. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Carter,
Present.
Councilmember Oliva,
Present.
Councilmember Garcia,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Cardenas Singh.
Present. Thank you. At this time, please, I would ask if we could rise. We will be led by the Pledge of Allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia Marroquin, and then followed with invocation led by Council Member Sonia Carter.
Please join me in saluting the flag of our nation. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You could remain standing, please.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you simply just saying thank you. We ask you just to bless this good month of October, the people of El Centro, and our students that are in school. Bless them, Lord. Put your hands upon them. And this name I ask. Amen.
Amen.
Should drink some water.
Thank you, colleagues, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Madam City Attorney, if you could please report out on closed session.
Yes, Madam Mayor, during the closed session, the City Council discussed confidential litigation matters as well as gave direction to its collective bargaining representatives.
Wonderful, thank you. And as I move us along on our agenda, I just would like to make note that our city manager, Mr. Cedric Cesena, is on Zoom this evening, so he is here and participating. So I just wanted it to go on record since those that may be watching may not see that he's sitting here on the dais. With that, I'll go ahead and move us on into public comments. Madam City Clerk, I have one public comment. Is there any other blue speaker slips at this time?
None other, Mayor.
All right. All right. This is a public meeting. If there's an item on the agenda on which you wish to be heard, you are asked to complete a blue speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council are not required to identify themselves. However, this information assists the mayor by ensuring that all persons wishing to address the council are recognized and also assists the city clerk in preparing the city council meeting minutes. When the item is announced and your name is called by the mayor, please step to the podium and state your name for the record. Unless the mayor extends the time, there is a 3-minute time limit for each public presentation. If you wish to address the council concerning any other matter not appearing on the agenda, you may do so during that public comment portion of the agenda. However, you may not show a visual presentation without the review of that material. If you do so, you will be considered out of order. All right. With that, I will go ahead and invite Ms. Michelle Hollinger to speak under public comment for invitation to Victoria Homes grand opening. Hi, Michelle, how are
Thank
you?
you, Madam Mayor. Michelle Hollinger with Victoria Homes. It's been 5 years since we've had a grand opening, ribbon cutting, ceremony, mixer, anything of the like. With COVID and the pandemic kind of hit us and we had to regroup and restructure. But we're proud to announce our grand opening of Victoria Park 3 in Imperial. And I would personally like to invite all of the city council here, planning commission, and any city staff that would like to attend. Thursday, October 12th from 5:30 to 8. I do have a flyer, but I did not get it approved beforehand.
That's all right. We can hand it to our city clerk and she will make sure that we get copies. All right.
Great. The address is on the flyer and I hope to see you there.
Wonderful. Thank you. We're so excited when one city wins, we all win when we talk about quality of life for the Imperial Valley. So thank you so much for the investment and for the development that's coming into fruition here in the city of Imperial. We'd be glad to participate. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. All right. So, Madam City Clerk, is there any other blue speaker slips at this time?
None, Mayor.
All right. Great. I will then move us along under presentations and announcements by the mayor. At this time, I would like to read the proclamation that we have to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month for the month of October 2023. Ms. Gina, hi, how are you? Ms. Gina Vargas, Director of Center for Family Solutions. If I could please invite you to the podium. Thank you so much. At this time, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. We'll present it to you, and then we'll go ahead and have the opportunity for you to share and give us some updates on the services that are being provided, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2023. The crime of family violence violates an individual's self-respect, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, including the abuse of children and the elderly. The problems of family violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers that are supported by societal indifferences. The impact of family violence is a wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole here in Imperial County, throughout the United States, and in the world. When a family member is abused, it can have long-term damaging effects on the victim, which also leaves a mark on the family, friends, and the community at large. During the month of October, we pledge to help break the cycle of violence and foster healthy relationships by encouraging domestic violence victims and their families to seek assistance from appropriate services and organizations. The mayor and the city council supports the efforts to educate all people about healthy relationships centered on respect and support services, healthcare providers, and remain committed on ensuring our community feels safe, respected, and live free from abuse. Now, therefore, I, Marta Cárdenas Singh, Mayor of the City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of El Centro. If we could please invite you to receive this proclamation on behalf of our council. Emilio.
I'm going to have some of my staff and board members join me.
Wonderful.
We have our board member.
Great. Thank you. competition today, Emilio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Tilt down the block. Tilt like this.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
that's
glare.
good.
There you
Thank
go.
Now you can smile. On that. That's,
He's taking a movie.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. Ms. Vargas, please, if you could share the great work that your organization provides here in the Imperial County.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and for proclaiming October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Mayor, I think it's great to see that, you in this position and to see how you lead the city and with the strong team that you have beside you, and that only together bringing awareness to domestic violence, and together we're going to be able to end it, because it's going to take more than just Woman Haven staff. It's going to take the community at large to be able to do that. And Woman Haven is celebrating its 45 years.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Great.
That is really great. And it's been going strong, and so we're very thankful to the community support and the awareness that it brings, and just being able to share this topic today, but how do we move it forward for every day, because we do know it does happen every day. And there were some comments on the proclamation that you mentioned that, how it impacts. There's a secondary and third type of victimization, because it just doesn't hit the person who is going through it, but those who see it, or those she shared it or he shared it with, then it impacts them. And so it's only through bringing awareness that we're going to be able to stop this. And so we are very proud to be able to be here today, and for the city of El Centro to proclaim October as Domestic Violence Awareness. As I thank, the government part of the city, I also want to thank, your staff here at the city that do such great things, from the code enforcement, how they come in and they have helped us throughout the years, and to be able to be readily available, to be able to assist, our business here in this city, but also the police officers that go and respond to domestic violence, and they go in there. We're extremely thankful for them to being informed and having a caring heart to be able to make that step to make that home safe, and to let them know about Woman Haven. The first responders who go there, sometimes, the fire department gets there first on a call on sometimes, and for them to be informed and to be able to know what is happening and be able to share what Woman Haven does. We're extremely thankful for what they're able to do for us. So we're extremely thankful in everything we do. I do have Christian here, our outreach coordinator, who will share a couple of activities we're
Great.
having.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It was nice seeing you again. My name is Christian Gamble. I'm the Homeless Outreach Coordinator at Woman Haven. We are having a variety of events that are going for the month of October. I did pass out some flyers and also our timeline, yes, with the events that we're having. Tomorrow, we're going to have our Amber Bryant Memorial, which is also known as Remember My Name. And this event will be at Johnny Burritos. We are looking and asking for donations to mourn the lives that have passed away due to domestic violence. We'll be at El Centro, Brawley, and also Imperial. And we'll be there promoting the month of October as domestic violence as well, and those that have passed away from domestic violence. In addition, we also are promoting our second festival against domestic violence. This will be on October 21st on a Saturday from 10 to 1 at the Imperial Superior Court. And we invite you there to attend as well. We'll have entertainment, booths, vendors, resource tables, and so much that will be going on during this day. And like I said, we invite you all to these events that we'll be having throughout the month of October. And thank you once again for your support and for proclaiming the month of October in the city of El Centro.
Thank you so much. We
Thank
will
you.
make sure that we share this information, please, to our public information officer, Mr. Mario Renteria, that we make this accessible through our social media outlets and so forth. So if we can support with that, we'd be happy to do so.
Thank you so much. I brought Judy Klein Pritchard forward. She's been one of our strongest advocates and has shared many of those, part of that 45 years. Between her and I, we've been there the most amount of years. Oh, wanted to bring her up and for her to share her thankfulness.
Gina usually likes to tell people that Woman Haven was a teenager when I went to work there. So I've been there. This is my 34th year. And one of the things, well, there's two things that I want to bring before you. One of them is that although this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we believe that every day should be Domestic Violence Awareness Day. Because it happens every day, multiple times a day. And we cannot forget that. We should not forget that. The other thing I want to point out is we were talking about how domestic violence, it affects not just the people in the home, the two players, so to speak, but it also affects people around them. I've been there for so long that I see, unfortunately, the grown children of clients from years ago coming in seeking our services. And of course, I always welcome them with open arms and a sad heart. A sad heart. Every year, there are more and more clients coming in who know me from when they were children. So people, please be aware. I appreciate everything everybody has done in here for us, for our cause. Even the police department, even though I like to tease them, they're wonderful. They really are. And if anybody needs anything from us, we're there. And yes, Gina and I have been together pretty much for the last 34 years. So, yeah.
For the great work that you do in our
Thank you.
community. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you. So this year's theme is Hero for the Cause. And so we believe that we are going to, together with everyone, to be able to save one life at a time. And so, thank you. Hope to see you there.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right. The second item on our agenda is the proclamation for National Fire Prevention Week. Chief Bernal, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
All right. I'd like to go ahead and read this proclamation. The City of El Centro's proclamation, National Fire Prevention Week, October the 8th through the 14th of 2023. The City of El Centro is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting in our city. Fire is a serious public safety concern, both locally and nationally, and homes are the location where people are at greatest risk from a fire. Cooking is a leading cause of home fires. 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, with 31% of those fires resulting from unattended cooking. More than half of the reported non-fatal home cooking fires injuries occurred while the victims tried to fight the fire themselves. Children under 5 face a higher risk of non-fire burns associated with cooking than being burned in a cooking fire. The El Centro Fire Department is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and injuries through prevention and protection education. Residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take personal steps to increase their safety, especially at home. The 2023 National Fire Prevention Week theme is Cooking Safely Starts With You. Pay attention to fire prevention. This serves to remind us to stay alert and to use caution when cooking. The mayor and the council members thank the El Centro Fire Department for ensuring the safety of our community and educating the community about simple but important actions that take to keep themselves and those around them safe from home fires. Now therefore, I, Marta Cárdenas Singh, Mayor of the City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim October the 8th through the 14th, 2023, as National Fire Prevention Week in the City of El Centro. Congratulations. We're waiting for Amelia. Everyone else.
Remember, Chief, only you can prevent forest fires.
See what I mean?
One of them is bound to be good.
Congratulations. Thank
I could just take a moment real quick
Absolutely,
to touch on a
Chief
few
Bernal.
things. And one of the things that you said was prevention through education.
Yes.
And I want to use that as a plug for our next opportunity to actually educate our community and help in that prevention message this Saturday, October the 7th, from 9 to 1. We're going to have our annual open house. Very exciting because it is an opportunity to drive home this message, to engage our community, invite them into our homes so that not only can they learn about the fire department, but we can take that opportunity to show them our home while also educating them on how to be safe in their own. And so I look forward to that opportunity, as do many of our members. This year, I really look forward to it because we've got a lot of help from other departments within the city to make this a wonderful event. And I really look forward to it. And again, look forward to engaging the community to show them a little bit about what we do and where we live.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. At this time, I'll go ahead and we have National Community Planning Month. Please, if I can call is Angel, there you are, Mr. Hernandez. If I could please call you up. Good afternoon. Good evening. I keep
Yes, good
saying
evening.
afternoon. Good evening. All right. The City of El Centro's proclamation, National Community Planning Month, October 2023. Change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, rural areas, and other places. Community planning and plans can help manage the change in a way that provides better choices for how people work and live. Community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be meaningful, involved in making decisions and choices to determine the future of their community. The month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States. Planners work to improve the well-being of all people living in our communities by taking a comprehensive perspective. National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of all the members of the planning commissions and other citizen planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of the city of El Centro. The mayor and the city council members recognize city staff professionals for their hard work and dedication on their continued commitment to public service and their approach to lead a safer, resilient, and more prosperous community. Now, therefore, I, Marta Cárdenas Singh, Mayor of the City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2023 as National Community Planning Month in the City of El Centro. Congratulations.
Very good.
Thank you.
No, you're fine.
You'd like to say something?
First, I want to thank you for taking time in this meeting to give this proclamation. Second, thank you for the photos. My staff love photos of themselves. They love being on Instagram, being kind of sarcastic right there. And lastly, this is I think just recently we started doing this proclamation for Community Planning Month, and just in the future, I do want to probably do more events, kind of going out to communities, talk more about planning. I know it's not really well-known profession, but obviously I think it's a very critical skill set and profession for the community. But not only for just the people that call themselves planners, but as the proclamation mentioned, there's a lot of volunteers, the planning commission, even the people that we send out those 300-foot notices and they come to the meetings, they take time out of their day to kind of voice their concerns or voice their opinions about what's going on in the community. So I just want to thank you and thank all of them for taking the time to do that. And also, lastly, can't thank my staff at the planning division. We have Andrea Montaño, the associate planner, and Sarah Silva, assistant planner, and Paulette Lopez, our staff assistant. So
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good job to everyone. Great. Well, Mr. Hernandez, we didn't need you to go too far because item number 4 is also yours with code enforcement as well. And so Miss Anna, there we go.
There she is.
All right. Item number 4, Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. City of El Centro Proclamation, Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week, October the 8th through the 14th of 2023. Code enforcement officers provides the safety, health, and welfare of our residents throughout the city of El Centro through the enforcement of local, state, and federal laws and ordinances. They assist with various issues of public safety, health, building, zoning, housing, property nuisance, and environment. Code enforcement officers have challenging and demanding roles while improving the quality of life for residents and businesses in the city of El Centro. The role of code enforcement officers has expanded in recent years, with jurisdictions increasingly relying on the expertise and training of code enforcement officers in their community. Code enforcement officers are dedicated, qualified, and trained professionals who share their goals of preventing neighborhood deterioration, enhancing communities, and ensuring safety. Code enforcement officers have a highly visible role in our city and regularly interact with the public and a variety of state, county, and local officials. The mayor and the city council members honor code enforcement officers that serve this community and express their appreciation for their dedication and service in improving the quality of life within our city. Now, therefore, I, Marta Cárdenas Singh, Mayor of the City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim October 8th through the 14th, 2023, as Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week in the City of El Centro. So if I can please invite you and your staff to come up and receive this. Congratulations. So much congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you. I'll chase.
We gotta balance everything out here.
All right, then.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Hernandez or Mr. Soto, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'll let Frank do most of the talking, but I just want to say thank you to the staff. They do their work with a lot of passion, I believe, and they deal with a lot of difficult situations, and I'm always amazed how they always keep their calm. And like I said, just kind of compassion of the situation. Because a lot of times that they deal with people that may not have the means to do certain things, or they're in certain situations in their lives that that they, like I said, I just really appreciate how they handle those situations. Thank you, and I'll let Frank do the rest of the
Thank you.
talking.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Yeah, thank you so much for this proclamation. We really do truly appreciate it. I just want to say I am very proud of our code enforcement staff, which is Code Enforcement 2, Ana Garcia, and Code Enforcement 1, Arturo Blay. They do an outstanding job out there in the community. I mean, every day they're spoken down to, they're praised. It's just a thankless job. And they do a good job of with community service. They're very respectful, and I am very proud to be a part of their team. So that's all I can say.
Thank you for the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, council, I'll go ahead and move us on to scheduled public comments. At this time, I would like to invite our Imperial Valley Regional Chamber President, Ms. Sherry Cowie, who would be giving us a quarterly report on the chamber.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and esteemed council members. I apologize for having to use my iPad, but there's a lot of information.
Good. We love that.
So first, we had our annual dinner last Thursday at the Pioneer Museum to recognize our business of the year, our small business of the year. We had a new category with our legislative champion. We had 2 chamber champions and 3, because of COVID not being able to get together, we acknowledged 3 of our ambassadors of the year. And it was a very well-attended event, and it was beautiful. So, and I thank you all for attending as well. Just coming up, we have a very busy October, and going, let me just go back a second. So we've had 12 new members in this current quarter, and we have a very busy October. So starting out, we have ribbon cutting on October 10th, and it will be at 11 a.m. It's for the Indie Dwell building out in Raleigh. And we will be sending out information on that. On October 12th at 5:30 p.m., we have a ribbon cutting event for Victoria Homes. On October 14th at 4 p.m., we have a ribbon cutting for Living El Centro. And then on October 19th at 5 p.m., we have Adjoin. They're doing a ribbon cutting. And on October 25th at 5:30 p.m. in Calexico, we have a ribbon cutting and anniversary for First Imperial Credit Union. We are also planning our next legislative event to hopefully take place in November. So there will be details coming once we have the speakers set and a venue. And then I apologize, I have one additional ribbon cutting to mention, and that's on October 27th for the Montessori preschool. We're just waiting for final event information. Tomorrow, we're having our second new member orientation. We're trying to do them quarterly just to let our members know what the chamber is about, and also just how to get involved with the community. And we just revamped our membership levels. So I know oftentimes, we hold a lot of events. So we've tried to make our membership levels a little more easier for our members. And we have now included a component that allows them to incorporate their sponsorships within their membership. And lastly, we wrote 3 letters of support on behalf of BHE Renewables to the California Energy Commission for their 3 new geothermal plants that they're hoping to break ground on. And we also spoke in support of them at the California Energy Commission hearing that took place last month. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I will share with you, there's great excitement when I hear ribbon cutting ceremonies because it just demonstrates the growth that is taking place in all of our cities. And so I'm excited to hear that and looking forward to those ceremonies and those activities. Great work.
Thank
Ms.
you.
President,
Thank you.
with everything that is going on with the chamber. We had a great evening. We enjoyed hearing the many success stories and celebrating business owners and the great success they've had in our community. So thank you and congratulations on your position, and we continue to look forward to your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
evening.
All right, council members, I'll move us on to our consent agenda, items 6 and 7. Thank you. Motion has been made by Councilmember Edgar Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Tomas Oliva. Please vote. Thank you. Consent agenda has been approved. All right. Council members, I'd like to ask for a favor, please. I would like to move item number 9, which is the community sponsorship request from Woman Haven and Center for Family Solutions. They have a booth at Buckland Park this evening for the event that we're having. And they have asked if they could please be heard first so that they can go out and make sure that they're able to provide their informational booth. So at this time, I'll go ahead and move item number 9, please, and that's the one that we will be reviewing now. All right, so in your packet,
Madam Mayor, good evening.
Good
Would you like me
evening.
to present on the item?
that sounds great, Cedric, please.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members, as well as the public present in our chambers. Tonight, I bring before you 2 sponsorship requests. The first one that you're going to hear tonight is in relation to Woman Haven Center for Family Solutions. They have submitted a request to the program, and there is funding available in the amount of $4,389, with the balance of the account is today. We know as far as Woman Haven, they are a nonprofit organization, as you mentioned. They have a booth and outreach activities that happen in the community regularly. As far as this particular request, it's for the celebration of their 2nd annual domestic violence Be a Hero for the Cause event that's happening on Saturday, October 21st of this year. The event will be held at the Imperial County Superior Court grounds at 939 Main Street here in the city of El Centro between 10 a.m. and 1. The event is free to the public and aims to change how the community perceives interpersonal violence and create a sense of empowerment. It will also offer the opportunity to receive useful information not only from Women Haven, but other local organizations. There are 4 levels of potential sponsorship. The city manager's office has received the application. Requirements have been met according to the policy statement. You have actually reviewed as a mayor the request and recommend that council consider a sponsorship in the amount of $750. In conclusion, the staff seeks direction and any necessary action regarding the request presented before you for a cash sponsorship.
Sounds great. Thank you, Mr. City Manager Cedric, for giving us that report. Council members, at this time, the request is for $750 for the sponsorship level. At this time, motion has been made by Councilmember Edgar Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Sonia Carter. Please vote. Thank you. That item has adopted for the sponsorship of $750 to Woman Haven, a Center for Family Solutions. Thank you. All right. Yes, absolutely. You want to say thank you?
Madam Mayor and council members, once again, thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart to be able to see that you guys support our events and that awareness. And I know Tomas has was on Women Haven's board, and so I know he has that passion to make change in the community, and I know that the rest of you too as well. And so thank you so much for supporting our cause and being a hero for the cause and saving one life at a time. We're going to have superhero capes, and hopefully you guys can come out and join us. And we're going to have Batman, Spider-Man, and Wonder Woman entertainers come and be a fun festival for everyone to enjoy at all levels. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
I did want to say that I appreciate your guys' staff as well as they were coming up here. It was tugging at my heart for before they even came up here for, to thank Anna and Angel for the wonderful work that they do and always being so friendly and available to be able to help when we're feeling lost and don't know what to do. And like, okay, let me call Anna or let me ask Angel that question, and super friendly. And so it's great that you guys have that. And Adriana's also been great to be able to think of Women Haven and to be there to support us. And it truly seems that you guys have a great foundation with all of your team. And Frank, I do want to miss Frank. He's the inspector when he's gone out, just super down to earth, and they're very friendly and don't make you feel intimidated. So I just want you to know that you guys have a great team here. So
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Great. All right. Mr. Cedric Cesena, will you be presenting item number 8, the community sponsorship for Mana de Imperial Valley? Before you do, I do need to state for the record that I do serve on the Mana board. I am the co-scholarship coordinator, so at this time I will abstain from voting on this item.
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. I will present the item before you, Honorable Madam Mayor and council members. The item is a community sponsorship request from Mana, the Imperial Valley. The amount of the request before you is for $1,000. There is currently funding available in the community sponsorship fund in the amount of $3,528. Mana of the Imperial Valley is a nonprofit, purely volunteer organization, and every year they work to raise funds for their annual scholarships. Las Primeras Gala is known through the Imperial County as a celebration for positive leadership in the Latino community. Mana of the Imperial Valley is having their 2023 Las Primeras Awards Gala and Scholarship fundraising event on Friday, October the 13th, 2023. The sponsorship of Mana's annual premier event will enable the organization to provide an opportunity where they can showcase the achievements of Latinas who serve the community with outstanding leadership and advocacy. The proceeds from ticket sales and sponsorships will be used to fund college scholarships in Imperial County and cultural programs for the youth. There are 5 levels of sponsorship available. The city manager's office has reviewed the application and the requirements of the policy statement have been met. The mayor pro tem has reviewed the request and recommends the council consider a sponsorship in the amount of $1,000. In conclusion, Madam Mayor and council members, the staff seeks direction on any necessary action regarding the requested cash sponsorship.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cesena. At this time, fellow council members, I will entertain a motion. A motion has been made by Council Member Edgar Garcia, seconded by Council Member Sonia Carter. Please vote. Thank you. That item passes with 4 yeses and 1 abstention. Thank you so much. All right, moving us on to item number 10, Chief Mechanic Reclassification, Ms. Dulce Bedoya, Human Resources Director.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. Here before you is the request to reclassify the chief mechanic position. Fiscal impact to the general fund will be $6,653 a year. To give you a little bit of background, the chief mechanic supervises the city's shop where the city's vehicle fleet is managed, including parks, public works, police, and so forth, and it's integral to the city's operations. We conducted a comparative review of other chief mechanic positions in the region with similar populations demographics, and cost of living to determine the proposed G13 grade for this position. The current grade of this position is G11. With that, we're asking for approval. If you have any questions, I can ask.
Thank you, council. Anyone that has any questions? All right, then at this time, I'll entertain a motion, please. All right, motion has been made by Councilmember Tomas Oliva, seconded by Councilmember Edgar Garcia. Please vote. Thank you. That item has been adopted, 5-0. All right, item number 11, Ms. Bedoya, CalPERS Contract Amendment Uncodified Ordinance.
Hey, bear with me. This is like a tongue twister here. So here before you is the introduction of an uncodified ordinance of the City Council of the City of El Centro authorizing an amendment to the contract between the City Council of the city and the Board of Administration of the California Public Employees Retirement System. Waive reading and approve at first reading and authorize city clerk to place on the next agenda for second reading and adoption. To give you background, pursuant to state law changes, CalPERS now allows for certain safety employees to share an additional 3% of the cost of retirement contributions. For example, 12% rather than 9% for classic members. During negotiations, this increased contribution was discussed and approved by vote of the POA on their MOU and the fire MOU. This revision requires an amendment to the agreement between the Public Employees Retirement System, PERS, and the city. There is a specific process which must be followed for a PERS contract change. Step 1, a resolution of intention, which was done on August 15, 23. Secondly, a vote by the affected employee groups on the change. This was conducted on September 13, 2023. Third, a public announcement of the cost of the change done on August 15, 2023 resolution staff report. And the introduction and second reading of the ordinance, which actually adopts the change in the PERS agreement on behalf of the city. The final step of the process to amend the PERS agreement in the introduction and first reading of an ordinance which approves the amendment agreement. PERS requires that the approval be done by ordinance and specifies the form of that ordinance. Assuming introduction of the ordinance at this October 3rd, 2023 meeting and second reading at the next council meeting on October 17th, the amendment in the contract and change in cost will become effective 30 days from the date of second reading on or about November 17, 2023. That time frame is within the window set by PERS. In conclusion, approve this uncodified ordinance of the City Council of the City of El Centro authorizing an amendment to the contract between the City Council of the city and the Board of Administration of the California Public Employees Retirement System, waive reading and approve as first reading, and authorize city clerk to place on the next agenda for second reading and adoption.
Good job. All right, council, council members and colleagues, any questions that we might have for Ms. Bedoya on this item? If not, at this time, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you. Motion has been made by Councilmember Sonia Carter, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia Marroquin. Please vote. Thank you. That item has been adopted 5-0. Ordinance number 23-92.
05, Mayor, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, 23?
2305.
05. Thank you. All right. Item number 12, approval of agreement for acquisition of real estate property located at 363 Brighton Avenue. Mr. Abraham Campos.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. Let me just pull up a quick exhibit so you know the location of the property. All right, so just to give you a little bit of background, El Centro Public Works, we were approached by the realtor of this property, see if there was any interest from the city to pursue and purchase this property located at the first one we're talking about at 363 Brighton. We're going to be talking about two properties, this one together with 317 Brighton. This is right next to Public Works 307 West Brighton. The intent here is to see if there's an opportunity to add real estate property right next to Public Works for future expansion. In looking at this, we did see that opportunity. Our facility is already a little cramped the way it is. Plus, we're seeing that electrification and fleet will require more real estate in order to accommodate for charging stations for future equipment as may be required. So in terms of master planning the facility and the growth of the Public Works Department at this location, this presented us with a great opportunity to seize the moment right now. We performed an appraisal on the properties as well as a phase one environmental, and each property is listed, or we're proposing based on the appraisal to offer a 75,000 for each of the property for a combined of 150 for both properties. And for this first property, because they have different owners, we're going to treat them separate. So 363 is your item number 12 here, and we're requesting approval of $80,000, composed of 40,000 the Water Enterprise Fund and 40,000 the wastewater fund. And that would be divided by 75,000 to purchase the property and the remainder 5,000 for any incidentals through escrow or fees that may be required. We do not expect the 5,000 to be used much, but we want to secure that as contingency, let's say for now, in case there's any fees due to get this property purchased by the city. So with that, I'll take any questions on this item, and it's the same exhibit for the next item as well for 317 Brighton Avenue. I would be requesting, if agreeable, a motion to adopt resolution approving the purchase.
Wonderful. Thank you. Madam City Attorney or City Clerk, just a quick question. We will do each property individually, correct? To make sure that we're correct. All right, thank you. So for that, then for agenda item number 12, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of an agreement for acquisition of real estate property located at 363 Brighton Avenue.
Mayor, there's two motions on that item, also the request of the money and the resolution.
All right. So
It can be done in one motion.
can be done in one motion? All right. So for the record, I'll go ahead and state with this motion, I'm looking for a motion for the recommendation of staff's request, council to approve the purchase in the amount of 75,000, correct?
Correct.
In the amount of 75,000 and to allow a 5,000 contingency for documentation and escrow purposes. That's one. And then item 2 is to adopt resolution number 23-93, a resolution of the City Council of the City of El Centro approving an agreement for the purchase of real property with Norma Villacaña and Norma M. Villacaña. All right. Motion has been made by myself, seconded by Council Member Edgar Garcia. Please vote.
Madam Mayor, before I cast my vote, I just
Yes.
want for, it's item 12 and 13, each item is 80,000 each, so it's a total of 160.
Yes.
With 80 from Enterprise Fund, Water Enterprise Fund 40 and 40, and then Wastewater Enterprise Fund 40 and 40, total 160, right?
Yeah, correct. When you looked at both items, correct? Both properties together, yes.
Got it, thank you.
All right. That item passes. Adoption resolution number 23-93. All right.
Thank you. So moving on to the second item on is a same exact item. Look more. Same item, different property, right next to each other. So this is for the property in red on your screen for 317 West Brighton Avenue. Same price, same funding sources, same reason. So any further questions, I'd be happy to assist.
All right, council. So at this time, looking for a motion for item 1, staff request council approval for the purchase in the amount of $75,000 and allow a $5,000 contingency for documentation and escrow purposes. And then item 2, to adopt a resolution 23-95, resolution of the City Council of the City of El Centro approving an agreement for the purchase of real property with Norma M. Villacaña. All right, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you. A motion has been made by Councilmember Edgar Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Tomas Oliva. Please vote. Thank you. That adoption is Resolution 23-95. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mr. Abraham. All right.
Thank you.
Item number 14 is 2023 Street Overlay Project revised budget for the maintenance, whole rehabilitation, and Scott Avenue curb ramp. Mr. Abraham Campos.
All right, so new terminology, maintenance hole,
Mhm.
previously known as sewer manholes. We just in case there was any confusion on what that meant. But as you know, we've been struggling and fixing the sewer maintenance hole at Emperor and Villa, together with the one at Scott and so forth. This project, fortunately, we've had some active construction contracts. One of them was this one with Rove Engineering. And we're looking at an approval of a budget amendment to add funding to the project. Due to the emergency nature of the project, we took advantage of this existing contract and had Rove go out there and perform a portion of the emergency repairs. If you look at your agenda on page 14 on the original budget sheet, compared to the budget request, the last two items, wastewater enterprise emergency fund account and Scott Avenue emergency fund account, are the items that are the funding that is being requested to be added to this contract to pay for the emergency work done by Rove Engineering that was outside of the original contract. So other than that, this is a revised budget request for this existing contract. With that, I would request your consideration and approval of the budget request as presented.
All right. Council, any questions, suggestions, or recommendations here for Mr. Abraham Campos? Seeing none at this time, then I would entertain a motion. Thank you. Motion has been made to approve of a revised project budget for the 2023 Street Overlay Project. Motion is made by Councilmember Tomas Oliva, seconded by Councilmember Edgar Garcia. Please vote. Thank you. That item is approved 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Item 15, council, is for discussion. It's discussion regarding amending Chapter 4, Article 3 of the Code of Ordinance related to the regulation of a card room. Presentation will be made by Angel Hernandez.
Yes, thank you. So the item before you is an item just for discussion purposes only. The city does have an existing card room ordinance, and that's located in Chapter 4, Article 3 of our city code. And essentially, it already has regulations about the operation of card rooms, how we want to apply for a card room, and certain limits, that there can only be one card room in the city, how many card room tables are already allowed there. And it also goes over what type of fees they would pay to the city. So this was last updated in 1999, and at that time, I think the previous year, there was a change to, the state adopted the Gambling Control Act, and essentially required that any existing card rooms be licensed with the local authorities. Historically, Tommy's Casino Saloon, that's a picture to the right, was the only licensed card room. However, it was closed in 2018. So the card room that Tommy's had with the city has expired, but the business itself, even though it's not longer in operation, they still have their state license. So this started when the city received a letter from Casino Azul. The letter is included in a staff report packet, and they communicate to city staff that they're considering purchasing the Tommy's Casino business and relocate it to another location in the city of El Centro. With that, they would be able to transfer the state license, but however, they would need to apply for a new city license. And after consulting with the staff, we just want to bring this up to you because this might be an opportunity to look at the existing ordinance, since this would be the first card room that would apply for it in at least 23 years, probably even more. And to start off with that process, the staff did meet with the Public Safety Committee on June 21st to discuss the topic and discuss like the scope of what type of changes would be looked at. Direction was given to take this to City Council to get further direction. And the plan is in the coming weeks, we'll provide a draft amendments, if any, to the existing ordinance and take that out for public review and bring that before the City Council at a future date. Likewise, the applicant, after consulting with the Community Development Department, they submitted a request to amend the zoning ordinance to allow card rooms in the CG zone. Now, the reason for that is because originally currently in the zoning code, there's no card room use in there, and if there's no use in there, then technically it's prohibited. And furthermore, there's no way for the city to review. There's no entitlement procedure, so we wouldn't know if it would be through a conditional use permit or if it would be through a site plan review, which is kind of just an administrative review. So this is the reason for that zoning ordinance text amendment is to kind of establish that procedure. So the scope of the potential changes, and I'll go over it in the next couple of slides, are wagering limits, the maximum number of card tables, the serving alcohol in the card room, zoning requirements, and city license fees. So there are other requirements in there, but these are the ones that we're focusing on. So this kind of table kind of shows the first 4 of those areas that I mentioned. So currently, the existing ordinance prohibits the possession of alcohol in the card room itself. A potential change is that we would allow alcohol to be served with a valid state license. There's other jurisdictions that also have that same requirement. We currently have a wager limit of up to $249 per hand. There's some other cities that have increased the limit, they remove the limit, or they leave that up to the discretion of some other city official to establish. The number of card tables that are currently permitted in the existing ordinance is 3. And after consulting with the folks at Casino Azul, they said that, and I did look it up to that, the city does have discretion to increase it by 2. So we may increase up to 5 tables if it's the will of the city council. And right now, like I mentioned, there's no zoning designation, there's no process. I'm assuming when the card room ordinance was last updated in 1999, Tommy's was already in operation, so that wasn't really thought about. Like, what if they were to relocate, or what if there would be a new business that would purchase the business and move it somewhere else? So another topic is the license fees. So the existing city card room license fee is $150 per month for 3 tables. So that comes out to around $1,800 per year. Some options for the city council to consider is not making changes to the fee structure, look into increasing the fee per table amount, or implement a fee that is a percentage of gross revenues. And those ideas were based, as I mentioned in the staff report, I did a kind of a survey of different ordinances and fee structures, and they're kind of all over the place. So most of them, they do have a fee per table structure, and some others do have some type of like percentage off of gross revenues. Some of them have a percentage of gross revenues that increases based on the increase in revenue. So this is kind of a selection of the ones I surveyed. Looks like a lot of these ordinances, they have been changed or amended in decades, so maybe that's why the fees are the same, but as you can see, it varies widely. And before I open up for discussion, I know just some next steps. So the zoning ordinance text amendment is going to go before the planning commission next week. They're basically going to give review the request and offer a recommendation to city council, and that'll be through a public hearing. I expect in October through November 7th. That's the next kind of timeline. Is there could be a public draft of the changes to the card room ordinance, if any. So anyone has any ideas, anyone want to make any comments, they could participate. And then I'm expecting to take this item back to this body on November 7th for the zoning ordinance text amendment, which would be which would come with a recommendation from the planning commission, and basically the final draft of the changes, if any, to the card room ordinance. So staffers are requesting council to provide direction regarding any proposed changes to the card room ordinance. And if I may, I know there's a gentleman from representing Casino Sold, Mr. Jay Carson, that may want to speak.
Yes,
Thank you. So I can answer any questions or go over
Mr.
anything.
Hernandez, oh, wait, we'll take the public comment and then I'll bring it back to council if it's all right with council. So at this time, I'd like to go ahead and invite Mr. James Carson to please speak on, in this the public comment portion of this item number 15. Good evening, Mr. Carson.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is James Carson. I'm an attorney for Lawrence Atisha, the applicant in Casino Azul LLC. He had hoped to be here in person tonight, but is dealing with a family medical issue, so he's not able to come. So you're stuck with me instead. I'm sorry. I really appreciate Mr. Hernandez's presentation and talking about really the start of a process here. This is a discussion item tonight. There are no decisions being made. To reopen a card room is a long licensing process at the state level. My client's had a license review pending for a year and a half because it just takes that long at the state level. But we see the light at the end of the tunnel there. So that's why we're starting to engage now in El Centro. One of the keys for us is in your existing ordinance is actually very robust and has the framework for getting a local license in conjunction with the state license. And appreciate, like I said, Mr. Hernandez and staff looking at some updates that we could potentially do both on the zoning and on the card room ordinance side to get the project moving. So just a couple quick things I wanted to highlight about the process. The first is that state law requires that any local ordinance changes that impact card rooms have to get reviewed by the Bureau of Gambling Control first. So that means, you guys can look at the ordinance, see what changes make sense. And then before the council is actually able to adopt it, you got to send a draft up to the Bureau. They review it and send it back. The last time the city updated the ordinance in 1999, they went through the same process. Actually, I sent in a public records request and I got a response back right away. And back in the file, there's actually a copy of the letter from the Bureau from 1999. So it's a well-known process that's there. So the Bureau and the state will have review over everything that you're doing here. I'd also like to point out there's sort of two pieces of this. There's the zoning element to basically put card room there in the uses. And then there's the actual sort of description of the card room and the, how it functions, where it sits. And on the zoning piece, looking at, it's really sort of a unique project because there's only one that's permitted in the city. And you have this very robust zoning card room ordinance that already has very specific details about, how many feet it can be from a hospital or a school,
Yes.
Specific safety procedures, all of that is already built in there. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. We're excited to be continuing to work with Mr. Hernandez and staff as, developing some options for the council to review in the coming weeks. And we look forward to working.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. I appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Hernandez, please, just for the public's information, can I have you go ahead and put the slide on in which you give us the timeline because I know that there's a portion there where there will be a public hearing. So anyone that may be watching this either now as it's streaming or later, I want to make sure that the public is very aware of the dates that are before us. And I will now bring it back to council to give council an opportunity if there's any questions that you may have for Mr. Hernandez. No questions?
Well, no,
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem?
yes, I do have a question. So what is the proposed location? Will it be in the same place that the Tommy's was, or is this a different location? Because I didn't see anything in the paperwork here.
No, they are thinking about a different location. Mr. Carson, do you want to? Yes, they have mentioned that they're looking at it's a property on the northwest corner of Imperial Avenue. Adams used to be the O'Reilly's
Oh, there.
auto parts store,
Mhm.
right there.
Yes, Mr. Carson, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I just say nothing's for certain yet on the location, but as soon as we have identified one, part of the existing application process is a very specific description of the location and the details and the square footage and all of that. So my client's that's all still in process, but actively looking.
Wonderful. All right, council, any other questions that we might have?
Can we go back to the slide where it shows the comparisons of the changes or proposed changes? There we go.
Any questions, council member?
Mainly because this came before the Public Safety Committee.
Yes.
And so I kind of already was afforded that opportunity. So I
Okay.
just want to be clear that I have no questions at this time.
Madam City Attorney, is there any comments that you might have on this item at this time? And if you don't, that's fine. I just want to make sure we have that opportunity.
We're just seeking guidance as requested by the Community Enhancement Task Force and the Public Safety Committee to try to prepare a draft ordinance.
All right. Seeing no other comments, feedback from Mr. Hernandez, then we will continue to work on this process, and then it will come before us after all those guidelines are in place. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, thank you. I'm assuming that there's no changes, that the changes before you are acceptable for now, so we can start incorporating a draft. And I guess more importantly, I don't know what the council's direction is about the license fees, how those should be changed, if they should be changed at all.
If you need a breakdown, I can kind of go line by line on mine. Is that what you're looking for, Madam Mayor?
It sounds like that's what you would like, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, if there's any comments, if not, then I don't know if the council want me to proceed just without any changes to the ordinance regarding the fees.
All right.
Regarding fees, so
Where are can you put us to there you go. All right. So in reviewing this, you want us to go line by line to see if this is the direction in which we all want to go in, correct?
Yes, and I know it's kind of a high level view.
Yes.
I don't know if like I did research like other cities, and as I mentioned, they vary a lot. So if that's something I could like bring back forth to the city council with some type of more guidance about like what type of direction they want me to head down my research, or
For myself, Mr. Hernandez, I would like to see a greater breakdown in this. I'd like to be able to process the information, go through it again, and to have something that's a little more concise as we're seeing this, for the first time here in our packet. I feel at this time that I would like to please review this and continue to review this and come back with some of those recommendations. I don't know where you are, council, with that. I feel that this is the first time that we're seeing this breakdown, and so for me to make recommendations on the structure or the fees, I haven't had the opportunity to go through all those items.
I think one model that we did look at when it was in public safety was that there were not only these these three options, but option two, having a fee per table, and also option three, implementing a fee that is a percentage of the gross revenues, that there were other examples where they had like a hybrid system where they charged a fee and there was also a percentage tacked on top. So that may be something to also add into whatever presentation and information that we're going to get. So we
Yes. All right, Mr. Hernandez, do you feel
Can
that
I-
you, I'm sorry, Mayor
Yeah,
Pro Tem.
There's well, not knowing anything about card rooms and playing cards, what does the wage, can you go back to that other screen? The max wagers per hand? I'm not sure okay, so remove or increase the wagering limit. What is that? If we were to increase it, for example, what would happen? It's just, is it,
Can I answer that? It's just
Yeah.
every hand that you play.
right, no, I know,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm not sure exactly how to ask this question, but
So,
why would we have limits?
That's what one of the proposed changes would be, because my understanding of the games that they're going to be offering, they could be no limit, essentially. That's what they're called. There always is a limit, as opposed to.
So what's in the wallet?
Pretty much, that's the limit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that we had also discussed in public safety.
And I know it's been vetted through public safety, and I understand, but for us, as we're looking at this and trying to
Yeah, I'm-
decipher and go through the existing ordinance and the proposed changes, I think that's where these questions are coming from.
Can I?
Mr. Hernandez? Yes.
Can I express just my sentiment of all this? And that is that certainly it came out of the Public Safety Committee for a reason, right? Because Mr. Garcia and I felt that there were some portions here that can move forward, right? And they're worthy enough to come before you. And so I just, like, for the record, I personally have hesitation when it comes to just casinos in general. And I've been asked whether or not I would ever be supportive within. But the distinct point of here is that this permit and this license already exists. We are not discussing the creation of a new license, nor does this open up an opportunity for someone else to then entertain that conversation. This is something that has existed for many, many years. And it's a commodity, it's real property, so to speak. And so it was purchased by the people that are putting it before it. And so they are asking if they could put it to use, right? And so what was presented to us was a location that would allow for this, but this that is being put before us is just one element of the overall entity. So what was presented to us was a steakhouse location, right? With this being in the back kind of thing. And so this is not just a full-fledged casino, but this is a music area, a place to be able to take your loved one out on a date or to have a nice time. And so when focused on that, we started tinkering with, that is why you see that it goes from prohibiting alcohol to allowing for it, because it's one location. And so you may want to have a glass of wine with your meal, right? It's not so much specifically tied to the card room element, but obviously if you have that permit and licensing, you want it for the entire building. So that's why there's that change. The wager limit, this is where I would say that I would ask the council to kind of consider that. And that's, for me, it's more of the enticing of the expectation of winning to someone that's low income, right? And that's why I do agree for some level of limit to exist. I agree maybe 249 is a little low, but that's something where Mr. Garcia and I went back and forth, and we felt that something to that detail would be brought before the council to decide. And that is that I don't necessarily agree with it, no limit. I would like a limit, but that's just what I believe. And then the tables going from 3 to 5 seemed reasonable. And then there was a conversation that I remember where the ordinance would allow for additional tables for a singular event. For example, if there was a fundraiser and they wanted to have a tournament and they wanted to have multiple tables in order to have simultaneous games going, raise money for a good cause, that would be allowed too, right? To have an event. So those were the conversations that we had in the background. And so that's where the direction of how the proposed changes are looking right now. And that's some of the rationale.
Any other discussion on this item? Mr. Hernandez, do you feel that you have enough direction?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the presentation.
Thank you for your diligent work, Angel.
Thank you, Angel. Appreciate it. All right. Moving us on to item number 16. This is the opportunity in which we're looking at the appointment to the Planning Commission to fill the 2 scheduled vacancies. So we have 2 vacancies in place. The term ends October the 3rd, and I will share with you the 2 current Planning Commission officers are Ashley Bertucci and Andy Alvarez, and both have requested a reappointment to the Planning Commission. That is the recommendation that I would like to make, to reappoint Ashley Bertucci and Mr. Andy Alvarez. And at this time, I'll go ahead and take a motion for the Planning Commission appointments. Thank you. At this time, motion has been made by Councilmember Edgar Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Sonia Carter. Please vote. Thank you. That item passes 5-0. All right. Item number 17, colleagues, is the discussion and any necessary action regarding the appointment of a voting delegate and alternate for the National League of Cities annual business meeting at the conclusion of the City Summit in Atlanta, Georgia, on November the 15th through the 18th of 2023. So at this time, we know that Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia Marroquin and Councilmember Tomas Oliva will be attending the National League of Cities Conference. I think at this time, I would entertain if either one of you is interested in being the voting delegate.
I'd like to suggest that Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia Marroquin be the voting delegate.
Is that all right with you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
I was going to suggest that you.
Tomas didn't have the opportunity at
Well,
Cal
he didn't have the
Cities.
opportunity in Sacramento because they canceled, that's why I was going to suggest that you be the voting delegate, but.
Are you comfortable with that, council member?
Sure. I was just deferring to you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, because you're outranking me right here. So I just figured,
Tomas,
why
you know
don't
what,
you go
it's not
first,
about
you know?
rank, it's about opportunity to serve.
All right.
It's just like, and that's how I see it.
All right.
So sounds great. At this time, then, I'd entertain a motion to appoint Councilmember Tomas Oliva as the voting delegate, and then the alternate would be Mayor Pro Tem Sylvia Marroquin at our National League of Cities Conference. Motion has been made by Councilmember Edgar Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Sonia Carter. Please vote. Thank you. That item is adopted 5-0. I see nothing from our legislative action. There is one informational item in your packet for you to review. And from there, I'll go ahead and move on to our task force reports. City council members, who would like to go? Miss Sonia Carter?
Oh, yes, I'll go first, yes. Our annual conference in Sacramento, we attended, and that was very, very nice. I'm sure our mayor will touch more on that, but it was a very, very nice event. We attended the El Grito. That was very nice too. Oh, it was a lot of people. Oh, very nice event. And the kids are still talking about it, matter of fact, just to throw that out there. Yeah, I have a lot of kids that are still talking about that event. Hospital board meeting, we did have one of those. We did attend the city championship. That was a very good game. Film commission meetings, I have attended several of those because we were planning the Comic View at the Martin Luther King, and we had that on Saturday. that was assessed to us as well. And I think that concludes my event.
All right, great. Councilmember Oliva?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor, colleagues. As you know, AB 918, the hospital that has really taken a lot of our focus outside of city council events. And so for those that do not know, AB 918 has passed the state legislature and sits before the governor's desk for signature. It has an urgency clause, which means that upon his signature, it would immediately become law. And so we are hoping and asking for all of our residents to take a moment to go to the contact tab of the governor's page and express your support for AB 918. We really do hope and expect that he signs it. And we are moving right along in terms of the operation of the hospital. And I think we're all kind of caught up with all the aspects of the hospital, but I do want to just shift over because I know that for the summer, the Citizens Advisory Committee for Centinela was dark. And so we did meet a few weeks ago, and the conversation was about recidivism. The conversation was about, the access of programs for a lot of the inmates. And so there are a lot of inmates that are benefiting from self-help programs, right? And a lot of the programs that assist them either through their faith, through their mental health, or through their education has fully come back online post-COVID. And one of the very interesting stories that was conveyed to us was that, once upon a time, you have a system where inmates would walk up to a physical phone, purchase the opportunity to be able to contact their loved ones, and it was very short-lived, right? Now they have access to an iPad and are able to contact their loved ones, right? Again, they still have to pay for the time, and so that system has not changed. And their behavior is contingent upon that as well. But they are able to communicate with their loved ones, again, monitored, right? Don't think that it's completely open-ended, but for part of their behavior, to ensure good behavior while they're serving their time, and also to improve their mental health, they do allow them to contact their loved ones. And the interesting story that was told to us was that when the ability to talk to their family was limited, the inmates would say, oh yeah, we were getting all these really good stories and we're getting all the good news from back home. But now that they're able to contact their family a lot more frequently, their family is actually being a little bit more open about some of the drama back home and some of the realities of what's going on. And so it seems very eye-opening where they're actually getting a very accurate view of what's going on back home with their loved ones, as opposed to just getting the filtered view of what is going back home. So that was a change, but I think it has improved behavior. It was also mentioned that there's a very small percentage of the inmates at Centinela that actually have hard ties to Imperial County. Many of them are from other areas. That's important to know because when they are released or paroled, the expectation is that they're not necessarily staying here. It's a very small population that actually stays here. Many of them will go to the nearest transportation center and try to head back home. But we went over a slew of programs that the county has to assist them in making sure that they are transitioned back into society. And so I'm more than happy to give you more details about that if you're interested in finding out. And they're also gearing up for their annual bike program, where some of the inmates inside have fundraising efforts where they'll purchase like a pizza, chicken, or whatnot with some of the funds that they have earned while doing their time. And that money goes into purchasing helmets, bicycles to those children in need in our communities. And so that is something that they work on. So with that, Madam Mayor, I will give it back.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Garcia?
Well, I attended many of the same events my colleagues have. The Grito event at Buckland Park was extremely well attended. I have to give my utmost praise to our staff that made it happen. It was a wonderful community event. We had a lot of people there, a lot of vendors, it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And it was wonderful to see it right there and smack dab in the middle of our city with so many people enjoying it. We also had the wonderful opportunity of attending the city championship game. Those young men did a great job with that game. That was a great football game. It was wonderful to watch. And it was really nice how they honored veterans at the halftime show. That was something that was really special. We have had several meetings in our different roles, both hospital and city, regarding AB 918 and ECRMC, and we continue to work diligently with the sole goal of making this finally come true so we can solidify healthcare in this county. And I'd like to thank my colleagues for all of the tireless efforts that they have put into this, because we have had countless meetings and emails and phone calls, and it just seems to be a never-ending endeavor, but it's something that has so much at stake that it's wonderful that I have these great people by my side, and we're working diligently to try to serve our community as best as we can. So that was something that we've definitely been working on for some time now, and we're kind of seeing the end of the rainbow. Hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there with time, but we continue to put our efforts towards that. I attended the League of California Cities conference in Sacramento with my colleagues. We had several different educational programs there, several classes. It was very enlightening to see that, we are not alone in the issues that we face in our small municipality. These are the same issues that are being faced by cities, small, medium, and large, all throughout the state of California. And for us to be able to gather with these elected officials and staff and to be able to discuss how they're approaching their issues and seeing how, what works and what doesn't, being able to collaborate and to get some new ideas as to how we can go about dealing with the issues that affect our city and our residents. That's definitely something worthwhile for all of us. And we were up there representing the city of El Centro. I also served on the board of directors, so I had to attend board meetings where, again, they were discussing common strategies and how we can address some of the issues with housing, with homelessness, with crime prevention, with just all of the main issues that are being dealt with by all of the cities. It doesn't matter if we have 50,000 people, it doesn't matter if they have 1 million people. It seems to be the same issue. It's just exacerbated by the scale of the size of the city, but we all have the same issues and we're all trying to find common solutions. One note, I found out today
I
that
was going to announce it.
I'll let our mayor announce it then. Okay, then I'm done.
All right. Mayor Pro Tem?
My turn? Let's see. So before heading to the League of California Cities Conference, Councilmember Oliva and I we joined in with the Community Enhancement Task Force meeting. And I'm happy to report that I think we finally came to a decision on a one-day business license for small businesses that are just, that operate, don't have a brick and mortar location, but they just operate and participate in different events. So I'm happy to announce that soon that will be coming. Also attended El Grito at Buckland Park, and I have to say that event is just growing and growing each year that we have it, and it's become so popular. And I just, it's really nice to be out there with all of the the community residents that come out to participate in that event. And I think it's not just El Centro. I think we really attract attention from throughout the valley, and I think probably from across the border as well. So let's see. I share with Mr. Garcia's sentiments about the ongoing meetings that we have held to work on all these details with the hospital and ensuring that we do the work for the greater good of not only our community here in El Centro, but throughout the county, and hopefully form a united healthcare district. And so I'm just really anxious for this month to come to an end, to see what the outcome will be, and then we move forward into the new phase of all of this project and the negotiations that will go along with it. Last, attended a night in Hollywood, the Pearl Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual dinner. Very nice event, and like Sherry had mentioned earlier, very well attended. And let's see, this past Saturday, I joined the mayor at an event that they had at Buckland Park. It was called Walk for Recovery. That was, that really was, something that I think we really kind of felt that empathy and that compassion for, those people that have really that are working very hard to turn their lives around. And these were, these are people that have problems with substance abuse, with alcohol, with mental and emotional issues and so on. But, we were fortunate enough to hear some testimonials from some of the participants, and, they really do touch your heart, because, and I commend them for for the realization that they need help and they sought the help. So commend those people for the work. And, as a second, I just hope that event becomes a big event throughout the county. So I think that concludes my report.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I will make sure that we're not duplicating any of the events. I do want to take this opportunity to thank our staff. Grito was amazing. It's always great when we have the opportunity to receive some cultural enrichment, and it was great to see the growth and the participation that has come with this event. It was just a wonderful evening, and I know a lot of work goes into putting these events together. Sometimes we think that they're effortless or seamless, and we understand it takes a lot of work, both the setting up and then the execution of the event as well, and then the breakdown. So I appreciate the hard work. I had the opportunity to attend the Comic-Con day that took place just past Saturday here at our Martin Luther King Pavilion. It was great to see that. I had never attended, so it was just a wonderful opportunity for our community to be able to have that opportunity. Just to share with you, since I serve on the ICTC, had the opportunity to tour the expansion of the new Port of Entry Bridge. It was great to see how that is going to make mobility as far as crossing from Mexico into the Imperial Valley much more accessible, with the addition to the pedestrian lanes and also to the vehicle lanes. So that's great, and looking forward to that ribbon cutting ceremony that'll take place. We had our downtown ad hoc committee coming to you the first day of November. You will see our Hometown Hero program, which will be flags representing individuals who are or have served in our country as a service person. So we're excited. That will be unveiled on November the 1st. Also, we had our first pickleball workshop, which was for advanced pickleball players. We wanted to make sure that we have those opportunities, as pickleball seems to be a sport with great interest. We wanted to make sure that we're providing resources and opportunities to enhance players' ability. Our city championship, that was great. Always a great opportunity to cheer and support our local athletes. As far as attending our first National Recovery Month and having that opportunity to celebrate individuals who on a daily basis work on their sobriety. I think it was a good reminder and a grounding of the great work that takes place, and to see that individuals are recovering, families are being reunified, and individuals have that opportunity to prosper and have integrity. Another quick note, just as a reminder to the public, this Saturday, Fire Station 3 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Fire Station 3 will have its open house. So please, we invite the public to have that opportunity to come out and visit us at the fire station. With that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to our city manager, Mr. Cedric Sesenia, for your report, please.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Mayor. So I had very similar schedules. We did attend the annual defense support of civil support presentation at an AFL Centro. They gave us a good presentation of how they can support the community around them. We also had a swearing-in ceremony for a police officer, our newest police officer, Giselle Machuca. I also had the opportunity to attend Cal Cities in Sacramento, and I had a chance to ride a scooter without getting hurt through the streets of Sacramento. I also had the opportunity to attend the Imperial Valley Economic Development Corp annual membership meeting. There was a lot of good information that came out of that. Also attended the Chamber event at the Pioneers Museum. And just want to remind everybody that there's still time to rush over to Buckland Park and participate in National Night Out that is happening now. Tomorrow morning, Coffee with a Cop at Starbucks at the Valley Plaza, 8 to 10 a.m. And I hope to see everyone at Fire Station number 3 on Saturday. And the report.
Wonderful, thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our colleague, just to share with the public, and it's with great pride that I share that the California City's president, Mr. Parra, and the executive director, Carolyn Coleman, called Mr. Edgar Garcia to inform him that he's been appointed to the Cal City's Finance Committee. So congratulations, Council Member Edgar Garcia. You represent us well. Thank you, and congratulations on that appointment. With that, if there is no other items, I will call this meeting adjourned.
It's cold in